At the tippy top of Mount Konar-simpin sits a beautiful slayer master. She's got a pretty blue face from an ancient race, but her chest is what I'm after. 28 inventory slots and the clothes upon my back. I don't craft or smith or hunt or fish, I only know how to attack. Zeah 807 UIM. I don't have a bank, I just have one friend, and I'll go where she tells me to go, and then I'll come right back to the land I know. 807 UIM. I'm locked to Zeah, by the way, except when my slayer master gives me something elsewhere to slay.
Last time on the Zeah 807 Ultimate Iron Man, I walked around a library for several hours and got 55 magic, got myself a Rune scimitar and fire battle staff from fire giants, got 43 prayer and unlocked all overhead protection prayers, received an amulet of strength from an undead druid, slaughtered sand crabs until I reached 75 combat, killed a bunch of dudes so that I could wear their skin, and last but not least, I received my first ever Slayer task from Konar. And now we're here, killing greater demons in the catacombs of Koren. Spoiler alert, nothing important happens during this task, but I do want to take this opportunity to discuss Slayer and my goals for this account. Out of 42 possible Konar tasks, this account only has access to 15 of them right off the bat. 8 of those have Slayer level requirements, leaving us with the following possible tasks: Anku, Black Demons, Fire Giants, Greater Demons, Hellhounds, Calphite, and Trolls. Over time, and in the following order, I will gain access to Jellies, Toroths, Aberrant Spectres, Worms, Kurasks, Drakes, Cave Krakens, Smoke Devils, and eventually Hydras. But through the use of Slayer points, I can expand upon this list even further, and therein lies one of my long-term goals for this account. Unlock as many Konar Slayer tasks as possible without training any non-combat skills. Through the use of Slayer points, I can eventually unlock boss tasks as well as lizardmen tasks. There are quite a few bosses that I would have access to, but some of my most notable tasks and gear upgrades are locked behind 2 quests: Priest in Peril and Death Plateau. These are currently the only quests that I plan to do on this account. Thankfully, neither quest requires or grants experience in non-combat skills, so we're good there. But seeing as doing any quests at all is sort of an exception, I will be requiring myself to obtain all items needed for these quests on Zeah. Except for the Asgarnian Ale, which is... you can't get it on Zeah, okay? Alright. In addition, I will need to purchase all Slayer rewards related to these regions and the monsters contained within before I am allowed to do either quest, which is going to cost me nearly 2,000 Slayer points. While Priest in Peril will be easy enough to complete with these rules in place, Death Plateau will take me a significant amount of time to complete, to the point where I'm kind of considering it a late game grind. Let me know down in the comments if you think you know why. But that's for future Frosty to worry about. This episode, I am after one item that will forever save me 2 inventory spaces. I'm gonna get myself a rune pouch. During my first Greater Demon task, I got a hard clue, and it's a step I can actually do. Just to reiterate from last episode, I am allowed to complete clues outside of Zeah, as long as they're obtained through Slayer and don't require me to do quests or obtain items I can't find on Zeah. Which, sadly, means that the second step for this first clue is not completable on this account. Oh well. During this task, I also got 55 ranged, 30 Slayer, 44 prayer, and my first ancient shard on the account, which I dropped because I will never have a use for it. And that's the task complete. Time to go get another one. 140 trolls south of Mount Konar-simpin. Alright, so I took a little detour to kill some temple spiders in the Forthos dungeon because they have a 1 in 12 drop of super anti-poison, which is one of my only ways to get an anti-poison. Along the way to Mount Konar-simpin, there's a bunch of lizardmen that love to spit poison at you, so I thought I'd be a bit cautious. I also got a Weapon Poison Plus as a drop, which could come in handy in the future. Got the anti-poison, now it's time to go kill some trolls. But, you know, since I'm in the area, I might as well get myself a Xeric's talisman. And, you know, why not pick up a second one while I'm at it? I can dismantle the extra talismans for 100 charges each, which should hopefully last me a while. I safely arrived at Mount Konar-simpin and spoke to the mountain guide to unlock a new transportation method. Now I never have to walk through the swamp, ever again. I took yet another detour back to Shazian because I remembered that I saw some orange dye in one of the buildings there. I looked it up, and sure enough, there is one highwayman in all of Zeah, which I am delighted to say provides me with one of my endgame best in slots for the account, a cape. I think the only other capes I can get would maybe come from clue scrolls. My theoretical best in slot would be the Cape of Skulls, which has the same defensive stats as an obsidian cape, but considering absolutely no Konar task drops easy clues, I would have to grind out some Zeah only clues for a chance at something like that. Yet again, something for future Frosty to worry about. I added the orange dye to my cape in the hopes that I could trick myself into believing that I had a fire cape.
Hey guys, Editor Frosty here. You might have noticed something in that previous clip that I consider to be a deep personal failure of mine. Let's roll back the clip. Did you catch that? 2 crafting XP on an 807 account. It's fucking over, guys. That's not even the worst part.
Exactly 1 month later, to the day, I found a purple dye spawn over in Hosidius, and I did it again, except this time I noticed the XP drop. And now, this account is forever tainted with 5 crafting XP. 807? Yeah, more like 807.16 or something. The account's ruined. See you guys next time for the rebuild, I guess.
Thanks, Frosty Bard.
Continuing my trend of not doing my Slayer task, I took yet another detour, purchased some fashionable earmuffs, and started killing twisted banshees, because I was poor. And as any good early game Iron Man can tell you, twisted banshees practically shit out alkables. After restocking on Fire Strike runes, I actually did my troll task, and I got 35 Slayer. Fire Giant task. You know what that means. Back to banshees. 65 hit points, and a rune full helm. I purchased a rune spear from the weapon shop on Mount Karum, and used my weapon poison on it. Spoiler alert, this item is practically useless, and I just end up alking it later. A Calphite task gives me my very first Brimstone key. I actually really like this task because it is by far the quickest, easiest task that Konar can give me. I'm sure I'll probably hate this task later when I'm doing Calphite Queen, but for now it is pretty nice. Oh, this is also the first task that I actually earned Slayer points for. 45 prayer, I can now use Mystic Might. And my first Brimstone chest opening is useless. Cool. Fire Giant task. You know what that means. So someone in my stream mentioned that these big frogs over by Mount Ketamortem are actually a pretty decent source for nature runes, which I've been struggling to get. Nature runes are needed for 2 of the most important spells on this account, Adept Reanimation and High Level Alchemy. So I killed frogs until I got like 100 nature runes. It's not too bad, I guess. Definitely the best source that I have access to so far. 2 Brimstone keys for nothing good. And a Greater Demon task for nothing good. At this point, everything gets a little bit repetitive, so I will just point out the highlights. 50 Slayer unlocks Bloodvelds. Hellhounds in Witch Haven Dungeon means that I gotta do this stupid little puzzle, which thankfully you can do without starting Family Crest. 69 ranged is the Shining Beacon of Light in an otherwise uneventful task. And there we go, that is level 70 ranged on the Zeah 807 Ultimate Iron Man. We can now eventually wield... Ignore most of this stuff, because we're not going to have access to most of this. But the main thing is Black D'hide Armor, which is eventually going to be probably my best in slot. Until, God, forever from now, we get a, we get access to the God Wars dungeon and do some Slayer bosses. But yeah, 70 ranged. So far that is my highest combat level, because it is the... I'm safe spotting like a lot right now. It's the easiest way to train Slayer for the time being. 65 strength at Calphites. This is pretty much the only task I've been using melee for. 55 Slayer is the first substantial Slayer unlock. Broad ammo, leaf-bladed weapons, and Turoths are all pretty good for the account. I don't think that the Slayer Staff actually matters too much without the enchantment, though. 69 hit points. And it is at this point, a month and a half after starting Slayer, that I realized I can just use a chat command in Runelight to functionally do the same thing as my enchanted gem. So that's one more inventory space freed up. 50 prayer. Local Iron Man solves all his problems with one neat trick. It's to get to the into the Calphite lair. Maybe that was in bad taste. Oh my god, it's the Bodhi number! 70 hit points. Adamant legs, which is another gear upgrade. Nice. And I went AFK and fucking died in the Karum Slayer dungeon. Which, as an Ultimate Iron Man, by the way, puts me in a bit of a pickle. Gonna use my early game money-making hack from episode 1 to scrounge up some coin. And then I gotta walk all the way back to Mount Karum, purchase some new boots, and recover from my shame. And here's a hard clue with a step that I can actually do. There's one problem. It's in the wilderness. I purchased an adamant sword from the weapon shop in Shazian since I'll need a weapon to cut through webs and protect my spade from ne'er-do-wells, and I don't really want to risk my rune scimitar. The next step is to die. Before I can do that, though, I need to unlock the Vine shortcut over by the Greater Demons in the Catacombs. This shortcut is relatively close to the Arceus spellbook Home Teleport, which will come into play later. After that, I simply go back down to the demons and die. It's just that easy. From Lumbridge, I Home Teleport back to Arceus, pick up my clue scroll, sword, and spade, and then minigame teleport to either Soul Wars or Clan Wars, depending on the clue. Soul Wars gets me to Edgeville, which in turn gets me to the Mage Arena. After the wilderness step is done, I log out. After 20 minutes, my home teleport is once again ready to go, and I can pick up the rest of my stuff. I'd like to thank my friend Mice for suggesting this method in the first place, because I probably would have come up with something way less efficient on my own. Not that this is particularly efficient, but within my restrictions, it's probably the best I can do. And then, 4 steps later, this happened. Okay, this is going to be the 5th step. Oh, yes. Okay, I got my first hard casket on the Zeah 807 UIM. Okay, I gotta wait 2 minutes. And after the longest ever hard clue completion, it took me like 50 minutes of logged out time trying to wait for my home telly and minigame telly to cool down. Anyways, okay, alright, enough stalling. Let's open up the hard casket. What? What is this? No! What the fuck? What do I do with that? A Dragon Boots ornament kit, what the fuck, man? A peaceful blessing is like the least useful blessing. What is this, man? No. Oh, what do I do with this? Do I hang on to it? I feel like if I don't, I would regret it, right? Oh no, why? On my first ever jelly task, I got some mithril boots. They are completely useless, but it is a collection log slot for some reason. And that is a beautiful sight to behold. The Rune Kite Shield is one of the best shields that I can even get on this account. The melee setup is looking better and better each day. Level 75 ranged. 62 Slayer unlocks worms. 65 magic. Well, here's an interesting one. 138 Turoths in the Fremennik Slayer dungeon. This is the first one of these we've gotten, and unfortunately this means I'm gonna need to use a mithril spear, a leaf-bladed spear. This weapon sucks. I really hope that we get the leaf-bladed sword soon, please. Oh shit, there we go. That's the fucking leaf-bladed sword. Yes. Oh, that's so good. And now I don't need to use this fucking spear anymore. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Oh man. And that's an upgrade for pretty much everything else with the rune scimitar as well. And now I can use Oh, I can use the rune kite shield. Oh, this is so good. This is such a good day. Look at this. Oh man, how beautiful. How fucking gorgeous is this account? Oh my goodness. Oh, ho, ho, ho. All right, these Taroths don't even know what fucking hit them. We just hit a 16. We just hit a 16. Guys, we just hit a fucking 16. Oh my goodness. And that's the Taroth task done. I started this task with 26 nature runes, and now I've got almost 200, so I thankfully don't think I need to kill frogs anymore. Oh shit, fuck yeah, we got the rune plate legs, hell yeah. Now I can unnote those and get rid of these shitty adamant ones. Let's also get a, oh boy, fire giants on Isle of Souls. I love doing these tasks. It's so good. I love it.
The same four chords, the same four tasks. Got a stack of steel arrows. I don't know if they'll last, but I gotta keep on going. I gotta stay strong. Gotta get myself a rune pouch by the end of this song. I know it's inefficient, but I can't stop thinking about her. I'm just Konar-simpin. Half of these rewards I'll end up dropping, but I keep coming back every time I log in. Demons in the catacombs, giants in a cave, trolls on key to boredom, bugs in a different cave. I know this skill is completely brain dead. I'm fully aware I'm the one who trained it, but I get to see different scenery with a very small chance at a brimstone key. I know it's inefficient, but I can't stop thinking about her. I'm just Konar-simpin. Half of these tasks wish I could be skipping, but I need all of the Slayer points I earn with them.
And at long last, we have completed 34 tasks so far. And I'm now up to 756 Slayer points, which means we can finally go pick ourselves up a rune pouch. All right, and now finally at long last, let's see, we have 8 days and 20 hours played on the account, and I can finally purchase the first major upgrade for the Zeah 807 Ultimate Iron Man. The rune pouch has been obtained, which, as an Ultimate Iron Man, is pretty big. We made it all the way to 64 Slayer, 69 Strength, 78 Ranged, and 66 Magic. Wow. Oh, and 54 Prayer. We have made quite a lot of progress this episode. I might talk a little bit more about it in a voiceover. I don't know. But it's been a long time coming, and I'm really happy to get it knocked out of the way. We also got quite a bit of other kinds of upgrades along the way. We completed one hard clue and got the Dragon Boots ornament kit. Got the leaf-bladed sword on our first Taroth task. Thank fucking God for that, as well as the rune kite shield. But yeah, lots of really cool progress this episode, and wow, we are a beast. Oh my goodness, look at this account. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But before I go, I would like to extend my humble thanks to the following people: Acidity Tom, Alec Taylor, Ash, Blues, Digital Animal, Grant Baylor, Joseph Poindexter, Kai, Kiwi Birds, Luna Meyer, Luniper, Ryan, Scotch, Seriously Inept, The Reaper of You, Upakashyap, A People, Aaron Elmstrom, Ilaria, Millsy, Rinnet, Ryan Smith, Tony Krautbauer, Yakum Yakum, Captain Halftoe, Edgar Allan Flo, Extreme Odds, Garth, Kai, Liam Clark, and Tom again. And of course, who could forget Dan Furno, my one giant club tier patron. Thank you, Dan. And last but not least, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. Out of all the countless hours of entertainment on the internet, you chose to spend about 20 minutes of your time with me, and that means a lot. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Take care.
Thanks, Frosty Bard.